what the location's like. Oh, they're the ones that knock it. They're the ones that it really struggles with. Oh, it's darting around, even a very unique perspective right now. I've got a new friend out with me today. It is the DJI Mini 5 Pro, and I'm gonna put it through its paces with the tracking gauntlet test. If you're new here, then my name is Dan Davis, and I am Australia's #1 drone YouTuber. I can't wait to put the Mini 5 Pro through its paces. We're testing out the new forward-facing LiDAR sensors. It's got the Nightscape omnidirectional obstacle avoidance sensors, and we're in a new location here. It's a lot more dense than previous locations. There's a lot of low-hanging branches. So let's see how well their latest flagship mini drone can handle such a dense, unique location. All right, so I've got it in the ActiveTrack mode from behind, and what I can actually see is it's popped up with a few different prompts. I haven't seen this before. So I can see there's the auto option, which I can tap on. Really nice, clean interface now. It's literally just got a button that says auto. There's also a standard button that I can click on, and now there's options for standard, cycling, and skiing. So that's really cool. They've got brand new shooting scene locations. So we're just gonna go with standard just for this walking example, and we're just gonna have it track from behind for now and just see how it goes. Like I mentioned, we've got some new sensors on this mini drone. We've got the LiDAR front-facing sensors. We've got the Nightscape omnidirectional obstacle avoidance. And so it should be very, very competent in really any sort of situation I put it in. But this is quite a test. It really is quite a test. It is dense in here, and there's a lot of low-hanging branches and lots of obstacles that it could get caught up on. Okay, it's going all right so far. It's going all right. The concern is when there's really, really thin branches that are hard to see by the naked eye. That's where it really struggles. But we will see. It's going pretty solid so far. Yeah, nice. That was really cool. Okay, so it followed me from behind, really close, no issues at all. We're just gonna put it into auto mode now, and we're just gonna see how it goes with this auto mode here. I don't know what it's going to try to do here. Might try to swing around a little bit. I'm just going to go around this tree so it has a little bit of a challenge. Okay, it's keeping me from behind. It's keeping me in the exact same position. I'm going to actually start walking towards it now and see what it does when I start to challenge it a little bit. So it's actually just following from the front now. It hasn't darted around. It is quite a dense location, so I'm wondering whether it's actually, thinking ahead and preparing for a lot of these obstacles that might be a little too challenging for it. Okay, so it's sticking from behind even in the auto mode with this example. All right, so this time what I'm gonna do, back through the same spot. We're just gonna get it to come around from the front this time. And we're just gonna stop it just for a second. We're just gonna position it a little bit in front here, like so. And now we're going to try it this way. Keep it nice and close still, but we're going to follow from the front now. So it might struggle a little bit with some of these. No, okay. Yeah, some of these, like you can see these here, like these things here, they're so thin, like it'd be really, really hard for a camera system to pick up on. But it's doing all right. It's going a little bit higher now. It seems to be darting around and doing what it needs to do to avoid. Still really, really impressive. Really impressive considering what the location's like. Oh, okay. It's knocked into something. Again, those little twiggy things with like little green shrubbery hanging off, they're the ones that knock it. They're the ones that it really struggles with. So let's see how the Mini 5 Pro goes with a little bit of a fairer test this time. It obviously had that little accident before, which is understandable with those thinner branches. That's where you've just got to be really careful. I would not recommend doing it in like a dense area like that. Like if you're into mountain biking, for example, and you just think that the drone can track you through that kind of environment, you're probably going to struggle. So just be mindful of that. But But in this kind of scenario here, it should do really well. So I'm just putting it straight into the ActiveTrack mode, and we're actually going to put it into the automatic movement this time, in the auto mode, just to see how it goes. Again, it should be a lot more stable in this kind of environment, purely because there aren't too many little tiny branches that it can't see, because it comes down to the actual camera systems that are the obstacle avoidance sensors. They can't see really thin branches. That's the problem. So in this kind of scenario here, we do have a few kind of taller trees, and you can see with the auto movement, it kind of flies out a little bit and then it comes in quite intuitively. That's one of my favorite things about this auto mode here. It's so smart the way it keeps up with you. And even in like a low light scenario like that, where it's just my shadow, it's doing a great job. So that's just straight auto mode. Let's disable that. This is forward facing now on a little bit of an angle, and see how it's able to dart around the trees. It will lose me for like a microsecond, but it plans ahead because it knows, oh, okay, well, he's probably gonna come out here, right? That's where it really excels here with these advancements. And the fact that you can trust it in this kind of environment is really amazing. Like, these are the kind of environments where I just know that a DJI drone is going to be able to handle it. We do have a few small-ish branches that it might get caught up on a little bit, but so far, so good. I'm really liking these new options now that they've added. It's a clean interface. They haven't added like a huge amount to it, but the fact that we've now got the auto button right in the middle there above the stop button, and then we've also got the option to go into standard, cycling, and skiing, I think that's a really impressive update, really, because I guess what it will do is it will focus on the subject with rapid response in a cycling situation, and in a skiing response, it will be a similar thing, right? Like follow fast moving subject with stability. So I would be keen to test those out a little bit more. In today's test, it's obviously a little bit more of a standardized test, so standard mode makes sense. I love the fact that I can also press on that guy there, the vision assist. So now I get a little bit more of an overlay to see what's happening, right? So I'm actually seeing like, okay, well, I can see all the different sensors and what they're picking up on. It's just kind of intuitively changing between them as I'm walking. And I can have that as a display. I can move it wherever I need to. So that's a really nice additional overlay to have there. Then you've got the settings option as well, which you can tap on, and that will bring up the focus track settings. So I can tap there in the top left, and it'll bring up some more options for me to, you know, customize how far it's going to follow me from, the height, all of that kind of stuff. So that's nice to have that button available as well. And then you can also just minimize it down like so, and then it will just continue, right? So it's just continuing to track me. I've minimized it, but I can also see myself, the subject right in the middle. I can see the vision assist, you know, and I can see that the cameras are just shifting. They're just going between the different obstacle sensors, depending on, I guess, what it's picking up on. And it starts to flash with that orange outer side, just to let me know, okay, we've picked up on a few things here. So that's nice to have. I really like that you've got that as the additional overlay. And I think a lot of people will probably use those together. They work nicely together. We're now gonna have it off to the left a little bit, and I'm gonna continue to go between some trees, because I find that's where it's really impressive, where it's able to lose you and still continue the tracking process. A bird just went for it just then, which was nice, but you can see it doesn't have any sort of issues. And then if I was to kind of change directions again, pick up pace, you know, it just continues to follow me, and now it's off on a different perspective this time. If you are interested in any drones, cameras, or accessories, then make sure to check the link down below. I've helped Australians save over $70,000 on their purchases. So make sure to reach out to sales@d1store.com.au. You can also use the code DansTube on their website to save on most drones, cameras, and accessories. And if you're in store, just mention DansTube and they'll help you out as well. And for my international audience, I'll also have some links down below for you as well. So check them all out. They will be down there, and let me know if you've got any questions. Let's see how well this new cycling feature works. I'm testing it on a scooter, so I'm not technically cycling, I'm scooting. But let's see, the principle should apply very similar here. So straight when you go into ActiveTrack, it automatically goes into the standard mode, but I can tap on cycling and I can change it now. So there's that little icon, that little bicycle icon that I can see. So I'm just gonna put it into auto. And we're just gonna see how it goes in the cycling mode. All right, so I can see the drone's just keeping up from behind right now. I don't know how this mode's gonna be different to just the standard mode, but I guess it's designed specifically for cycling. Oh, it's darting around, keeping a very unique perspective right now. This auto mode works really, really well. It's so cool to see. So let's see how it goes. There's a pole there. This is a good test as well, just because there's a few poles hanging around, and it should be able to handle this with ease, really. But it is still a good test nonetheless. All right, so let's go around this corner. Again, theoretically, shouldn't have any major issues with this kind of scenario here. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. I don't really know what the difference would be with that cycling mode. I don't know what it's doing differently here, but it seems to be doing a very good job of just keeping me in the frame, which is the main thing, right? All right, so now I'm the front focus here. Still in the cycling mode. Does a really good job of keeping up with you. I'm not going ridiculously fast right now, but it is keeping up with me and really not having any issues. It's nice and low as well, which is exactly what I needed for this location here. As we go around like so, again, shouldn't have any issues. Got a few birds. Oh no. Yeah, it's doing a great job of keeping up with me like this. No issues at all. All right, so now it's off to the left-hand side. There is a few poles, and that's the whole test I'm trying to do here. Let's see how it goes when there's a few poles in the way. If it can still keep me off to the left-hand side, that's the framing I've chose. But there are a few poles here, so it has to do some avoidance around these poles. Oh, it's so smart. Yeah, it's really, really smart. It's doing a great job. Okay, we've got another pole here. Yeah, no issues. Handles it with ease, hey. Keeps up, keeps the framing I want. If I start to swing it back around this way, again, we shouldn't have any issues here. This is a good test here with these few poles as we go on this straight here, because it has to detect them and try to avoid them as it's keeping up with me. Oh, amazing stuff. Amazing. It's really interesting actually when you go between just the standard lens and then you go into this kind of medium tele mode. It actually does like a slow zoom and then it jumps into that 2 times. So this is their new medium tele mode on the Mini 5 Pro. So let's just do a little bit of a test here, see if it makes any difference when I've got a little bit of zoom here. Theoretically, nothing should change. We're in the auto mode this time, just on standard. Let's just see how it goes. So this time it has to think ahead, still keeping me in the frame, but keeping low enough. Yeah, nice, look at that. And the quality is quite impressive. Like typically when you go with like a digital zoom, you lose a bit of that quality, but the idea here is this is like a medium tele camera system. So you see that it slowly zooms in and zooms out. So if I press 1 times, there's a really cool zoom out effect. It doesn't just jump between 1 and 2 times. And then when I press 2 again, you can see it literally does such a smooth transition into that medium tele. And it's doing a really great job of keeping up here. This is great. That's the Mini 5 Pro's tracking capabilities. Really impressive as always. Nothing too majorly different here when we compare it to some of DJI's recent releases. They've got such a high standard that when something new comes out, it's kind of hard to blow you out of the water because everything so far has been so impressive. I look at the most recent releases, Air 3S, Mavic 4 Pro, even the Mini 4 Pro, like they're all really phenomenal drones, great tracking capabilities, really competent cameras, amazing cameras a lot of the time, impressive battery life, great cameras, and just an overall phenomenal package across the board. So this time what we've seen is a slightly different interface in terms of like that auto mode and also the different modes that it can track you in, whether that's cycling, standard, or skiing. So that's something new. And then on top of that, we've got the LiDAR sensor on the front this time. So the first mini drone to have a LiDAR sensor, the first mini drone to have a 1-inch camera sensor as well. So that will also showcase the quality in this video here. But I'm impressed. I think it's done a great job. I've had a lot of birds swooping me, so that's why I haven't actually been able to do that thorough Gauntlet test that I normally do. But we went in a dense area. It did crash. It did knock into a tiny branch, so you have to be mindful of the location you're flying in still. But in this kind of open environment here with a few trees, it has no issues at all. You just have to be still mindful of birds when you're flying relatively low. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, and I'll chat to you in the next one. Peace.
You